This is Dior. She's a Bernedoodle puppy, and this is her first groom. They waited a little bit too long, and she's got some matting that we're going to have to work with today. I normally wouldn't do an all-over haircut on a puppy's first groom, but that's where we're at. Puppies and adult reactive dogs have a lot in common when it comes to grooming. They don't know what's expected of them. Our tools are loud and scary. They're not used to being touched. You have to train dogs to be good with grooming. They aren't naturally good at it. When we're using sharp tools around the face, we have to hold them still so that we don't cut them. We don't want to cut their tongue, we don't want to cut their ears, we don't want to poke them in the eye. Ideally, we do this by holding the hair on their chin, but if they're not used to this, it can be pretty scary and they don't like it. You can sometimes get away with holding their skull by placing your thumb on their jawbone and your fingers on top of their head. So you're not choking them, you're not putting any pressure on their neck. Sometimes I will also hold them by the ears. Now, holding the ears does not hurt a dog unless they have an ear infection or another underlying health issue. Now, I've had to go in and delete a lot of negative comments from people this past week saying that I'm abusing dogs and I'm hurting them because I hold their head still while I'm grooming them. Puppies are wiggly, reactive dogs are wiggly. They don't like being touched. We have to train them for that. One method I use that I really wish pet owners would do at home is to gently hold their chin and tap the bridge of their nose with my finger. This gives them a little bit of stimulation and distraction while they get used to being held that way. And y'all, I have several doggy clients that I groom that have forked tongues because their prior groomer cut their tongue while they were scissoring their face. Did you know that groomers will sometimes use a scrunchie on a dog's ears to keep them out of the way while we do the face? Because if we're scissoring the face round, we need to be able to see the cheeks. This does not hurt them, and if they shake their head, it just flies right off. Now, you should never put a rubber band or a bow directly on the leather of an ear. This can cut off blood supply, and they might actually need to have that ear amputated. I've seen this several times. But if you're using something like a scrunchie gently for just like 30 seconds while you do the face, it does not hurt them. It does not cut off their blood supply. They're fine. So if you have a puppy or a new dog at home that you want to prepare for grooming, play with them. Hold the hair on their chin, hold their feet, touch them all over, get them used to being handled. And that will allow us to use less restraint when we groom your dog and give them the gentlest and least stressful experience that we can. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yes. Yes, you're a good girl. Good girl? No. Good girl? Yes, good girl. Good girl. All done. Okay.